It's been a while since I've had visitors. I'll check your cargo right away. Wow, this is in flawless condition. I'm impressed. I mean it. Oh, wow, you found this? What a relief. I was all but... I should have no trouble continuing my research. All right.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I'm finally part of the chiral network. I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this by way of thanks. I picked up this accessory in the UCA. You should try attaching it to your backpack. Who knows? It might bring you good luck. Oh, and in case you're curious, the cargo you brought me contained a stock of cryptobiote variants. I've taken to calling them chronobiotes. They appear to alter your body's internal clock for a brief period when consumed. Just another example of the many ways the Death Stranding is wreaking havoc on our perception of time. It's introduced us to timefall and the beach, as well as the EEs that brought about previous mass extinctions. You know, I can't help but wonder if extinction entities are related to chronobiotes. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Especially with the strange incidents we've been hearing about lately. Well, the porter who used to come through here was attacked by something. It was bad enough that they gave up doing delivery work for good. They still managed to deliver my last shipment, but it was covered with strange dents and markings. When I asked what had happened, they just said it was the work of the Headless Rider. People have been talking about the Rider for a while, actually. And there's this guy not far from here who's dedicated to studying strange mysteries like that. I sent him some details, and he said he'd need to ask around for someone to lend him a hand. You should keep your eyes peeled for trouble until he figures out what we're dealing with. They're cryptobiotes that have become infected with chiral microbes, parasites that induce changes in the host. Chronobiotes can accelerate various processes within the human body. Simply put, eating one should make everything around you appear to move more slowly. Much like timefall, which ages everything. And the beach, where time stands still. This disruption of the natural temporal flow is linked to the underlying mechanisms of the Death Stranding. Continued study of chronobiotes should therefore help us to solve the greatest mystery of our times. At least, that's what I've come to believe. So I've heard a little bit about Hartman's research via the hydrologist. You know, the mass extinctions of trilobites, ammonites, and the dinosaurs. Apparently, all these ancient events were set in motion by extinction entities. I'm told there was a human extinction entity as well. And that EEs had umbilical cords linking them to the beach, which could be why their fossilized remains were somehow unaffected by the passage of time. The parasitic chiral microbes that latch onto chronobiotes also originally came from the beach. So, you could even think of them as another form of umbilical tether linking their hosts to the other side. It's a pattern that shows we can't discount the possibility that a new EE might yet be born. And the reason why I believe further study of these microbes could help prevent another extinction event. Now that I have a chiral network connection, this sort of research should finally be possible. I hope this isn't the last time we meet. With no one else around to make deliveries, I was beginning to think I'd have to call it quits. Oh, by the way, a suborder just got posted about those strange... It's probably in your interest to find out more anyway. And, who knows, you might even be able to convince... I just hope we can get to the bottom of things. Thanks again.
Well then, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the bridge?
Order completed. Well done. Thank you.
Creatures can travel in groups of several hundred individuals. If you intend to face them, explosive ordnance is your only viable option. Take out as many as you can at once.
Perfecto.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route.
coverage, credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access the delivery terminal to process your...
Oh, hey. I appreciate you coming all this way. You took good care of this, I see. Ought to make...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So, I finished examining that cargo you brought on over. Now, I know this isn't your fault, but this thing has been absolutely savaged. I highly doubt human or animal involvement. Kinda looks as though it was battered with a large heavy pole, but... not to mention the unusual top. Putting all the pieces together, I reckon this is likely the work of the headless... In all honesty, though, seems like it was set upon by no one. Sheer damages. Yeah. But they won't come out and wreak havoc. There's gotta be a reason they attacked. Mind helping me figure out what that reason is? Once we know more about them. Indulge my curiosity and I'd be happy for you to hook me up, if you're keen to do so. I've included the relevant information in the...
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Okay, Sam, why don't we begin by considering what we already know? If nothing comes to mind, take a look at the order details to refresh your memory.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Beckham.
Now entering chiral network coverage.
Beckham. Sam, the Headless Rider attacks were reported in this area. Look around. See anything strange? What's happened to it? Don't tell me it's been hacked. Whoa! Since when do highways float in the air? Up, up, and away! Highway in the sky. And now we find ourselves trapped. You ready for anything, Sam?
Welcome, Sam. I prepared this little stage here special for you and you alone. And I know you're gonna make the most of it.
Pigs? These must be ghost mechs? I suppose there were no headless riders after all then. We need to destroy them all. Let's get the move on, Sam. You do it, Sam. Nice one. You're a pro. Hear me? Wake up! You see it, Sam? One of them is different from the others. That has to be the unit that's hacked into the autopaper. Sam, can you hear me? Wake up! Wake up! Sam, it's imperative that you take those hostiles down. Use your tri-cruiser to pursue them. Can you hear me? Wake up! Sam. I think you took care of every last one. Highway disappearing? This isn't good, Sam. Whoa! Ah! Seems the day is ours, Sam. Oh, what a relief to have made it safely back to the ground. There's no sign of our adversaries. The strange road has vanished without a trace, too. Everything seems fine now. Let's go and give the ghost hunter the good news.
Decided to increase the amount of material. All right.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that makes them want to stay inside all the more. Can't say any of us anticipated that the Riders would be goat, and those mechs have something to do with Higgs too. Well, then, maybe it'll... You know, I've shared with you some schematics for my favorite tools of the rocket box fires MP warheads. It's a port... I'd heard a few stories about the red-clad warriors before you came through. That Higgs might be the one leading them came as quite the shock. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons all over the place, right? Trying to get everyone to take up arms and sow discord. Forming lasting connections is out of the question. The spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying than any sort. Ever since the Death Stranding, sightings of a lot of these can be chalked up to among all these claims. Tales are supernatural, and as a ghost hunter, I investigate the more promising report. Unfortunately, it's not. So I have to rely on others to do my fieldwork for me. It's a single-use weapon. It fires several projectiles at once, which can lock onto multiple targets. Though, if you want to pummel a single enemy with over, it's great for incapacitating humans. Killing people, it's quick and easy to use. You've done some wonderful work for me, Sam. I intend to carry on with my There are a few things that I'm still pretty cute. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors. I hope I can count on. Good luck with your delivery.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery.
Back over.
I will always support you.
Becco. Thanks, Becco.
I've been waiting for you. Hey there. Wait, is that what I think it is? It's always a pleasure when you pay me a visit. Have enough materials?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I was thinking that... need a lot of I made a little something that I can't say for certain if the effect...
We managed to learn a few more things about Neil Vanna. You may remember that he was a porter contracted by Bridges. That's what we told you before. Since then, I received a mail.
Another one from our very own Hartman, I'm guessing. Look, we sure we can trust them? Whoever they are?
They are almost certainly someone on the inside. Someone with access to the UCA's administrative systems. It seems Neil Vanna was attending therapy sessions.
But the real revelation is who Vanna's therapist was. Charlie, can you please explain?
A specialist who worked with other doomed sufferers, including one Sam Bridges. She was your therapist and your partner.
Lucy?
Neil Vanna's name was on her client list. Right there in black and white.
That's crazy.
We also uncovered a photo you should see.
Per the records, they perished in a void out which claimed an entire city. A void out only you survived, Sam.
Lucy was pregnant at the time.
It wasn't mine. The child she was carrying. She straight up told me to my face. I never had any kids. She was just my shrink, helping me to work through my often phobia. That's all she ever was to me.
Was that, tasty, Sam? Sam, been a while since... You and Neil Vana have a stronger connection than I realized. There must be some reason why he keeps appearing before you in that mysterious realm. Admittedly, while we've only seen a few pieces of the larger puzzle, it may lead to discoveries you might struggle to accept. Nevertheless, I commend you for your courage in facing your past head-on thus far. I say this with the utmost sincerity. When you consume a chronobiote, your perception of the... It's not hard to imagine why that... You'd have a much easier time lining up your shots. I'm reminded of the difference in the passage of time experienced when we're on the... It stands to reason that both phenomena might... I don't